because as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So Scripture's been telling us this for years, that this is the way it works. And what you believe and what you think and how you're going to roll with this, that actually comes to pass. And when you're saying, okay, I'm now in the frame and for God's mindset for my life, now and only now can you be the things you want to be, because you're thinking the things that God is thinking about you.
All right, guys, excited to have a very special guest in the studio today. We have the one and only PK, Pastor Alan Kendrick,
Man,
in the house.
I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a good convo.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
It's a really opportune time to really dive in, man, and talk about leadership, right? So we had a little pre-interview discussion about pioneering leadership, what this looks like. Because at the life cycle of every organization, right, looking at the internal side of the church, building people up, really spreading the good news and the message, or even looking on the business side, right, it all really integrates on so many different levels. But let's really bring it back, man, to when you guys planted your flag a couple years ago and really the life cycle of the church.
Yeah. Well, I love the phrase, I'm stealing it from Bill Hybels, but everybody wins when the leader gets better. So I'm coming at it from a ministry perspective because that's where I lead.
Yeah.
But because leadership is leadership, no matter if it's the business sector, the education sector, the corporate sector, the ministry sector, you can all learn different things. So I learn as much from you, right, about business and leadership where you are as what I might be able to afford somebody from maybe the ministry and spiritual side. So for us, the story starts, we moved to Columbia from California, and we dropped in without knowing anybody in June of 2019, and we had to pioneer something. Now, I'm very Lewis and Clark by nature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thing. I
adventure at heart.
Yeah. Let me create the map. Don't give me a map.
Yeah. That's a visionary personality type.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize just how much I wanted that until I actually had to create the map, because we moved to start the church in June of 2019, and I had a plan, I had a map. Well, the map officially was lit on fire March of 2020, and the world fell apart.
COVID-19.
Yeah, now there's no map. And I was partnered with 3 church planting organizations, which they're agencies to help you learn how to do this. Because many people ask me, how in the world do you start a church? And I said, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah. So they gave me the map. Well, all the agencies called us by April, 4 weeks after COVID hit, saying, everything we told you is over. We hope by the end of the year, you'll call us and tell us how we need to start churches, because we no longer know. Lewis and Clark.
Wow.
We're going to find the Pacific Ocean one way or the other. That was that's their story. And that's what it was. So we had to pioneer something. So once that happened, what I mean is we pretty much lost everything. So we were going to be renting Lexington Middle School. We live in Lexington, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that's where we were going to start the church, in a school. That's big for churches, because when you're starting one, you want a lot of people to know the location you're starting, because you don't want to be seen as a cult.
Right.
Okay, we just want to throw that out there, right? You want a familiar location. Well, we lost that because school shut down, and they didn't want to rent to any outside organization. They weren't even using their school themselves. Well, then we couldn't get a movie theater because all the movie theaters shut down, right? Regal and AMC and anybody else out there, they closed because they were not hosting any movies, and then all performing arts centers closed down. So the 3 things that you would look for to start something in my world were removed. So the question becomes, when the very thing that you thought you needed to start what you wanted to start, and for me, that God asked me to start, is gone, what do you do next? You pioneer.
Yeah.
You do something no one else has done. You go where no one else has gone, and you start to invent on the fly. I actually started having fun right then.
That's incredible, man.
That's when I started having fun.
When everything hits the fan,
Yeah.
the entire roadmap has been burnt to a crisp.
Yes.
Right? You as the leader, you're standing in the gap. Everyone's looking up to you, right? Everyone's looking for that direction. So you need to figure it out. You need to pioneer and create the map, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think what's key is what you're saying is you got to have somebody who can create stability, because instability creates anxiety. And nobody likes to stay in fear and anxiety for too long. In fact, the number one statement we see in Scripture more than any other statement is do not be afraid.
Wow.
That's the one that says do not more than everything else is do not be afraid. So you're going to feel fear, just choose to not stay in that. Okay? So you need somebody who can create stability, and I think that's the visionary personality. I think
100%.
that's when somebody can come in. Now you need a lot of people and support to help you go there.
Yeah.
But you need somebody who can come in and start making calls and decisions. So for us, we just said, well, we'll risk everything on this, and we'll do something that's a little unconventional to create stability. What do I mean? Well, we started looking into commercial real estate because I have an idea, right? Yeah. Pioneering. I may not be able to rent a school, a movie theater, a performing arts center, but I guarantee you there's a landlord who would love to do business with a church.
Especially in these times.
Right.
Where the rest of the world's shut down.
Yeah. Nobody's looking to expand or take ground in the frontier unless you're a pioneer. Right.
Right.
And so this is my exact moment that I'm like, let's seize the day. What can happen? So we went into a commercial real estate opportunity looking around us. We found a space that no one had ever occupied before, which means it wasn't a warm vanilla shell, which is real estate language.
Yep.
It was concrete and a steel superstructure, no HVAC, no electricity, no plumbing, zero. We had 12 weeks to do, they told us it would take 12 weeks to do the job. We only had 6 because our grand opening Sunday was only 6 weeks away from when we signed on the dotted line.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
You launched on my birthday, September 20th.
Yeah, baby.
I remember that thing. That'll be a good day. Forever engraved in my mind.
So, yeah, we got to work, and the long story short is, to at least summarize this section, is that over those 6 weeks, when push comes to shove and you have a hard deadline, the world explodes on September 20th. We have to do this. Our backs are against the wall.
We've already committed. We're this far in the process. Yeah. I'm not throwing in the white flag. We're in.
It showed me that you really can do more than you think you can. And there's far more in you than you think there is when you have X amount of time to get something done. Because we launched on a Sunday, September 20th. I didn't have my occupancy certificate to even occupy the space until Friday, September 18th. The general inspector for the county comes in at 4:30 in the afternoon. My very first service was a private service on Saturday night, 24 hours later at 5 o'clock.
That's incredible.
And we passed.
Yeah.
Even if we wouldn't have, I would have held church illegally. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I would have done it.
It would have gone down.
I would have done it. It's too much at that point. Well, the point is we figured it out. And the pioneer, we'll do whatever it takes to do what we know we're supposed to do. There's a big difference between I kind of want something and I will do anything to get this.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
I'm all in, right? It's like the power of our language, our thoughts, our beliefs, right? When you believe something in your heart and you know that you know, right? You've already convinced yourself that it's real, it's possible, right? Turning back's not an option, right? Anything is possible for those who believe. But it's the language that we use, well, one day this, or what if I that, or hey, we can maybe make this deadline. It's like, no, we're making that deadline, right? Just like speaking your reality, your universe into existence, right? By the very words you speak, right? And I am being one of the most powerful words probably in any language across the world, right? I am.
Yes, Proverbs says it this way, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So as you think in your mind, so will you be in your life. And I actually believe from a scriptural standpoint, that's why in Ephesians, it tells us that, that you are to put on the helmet of salvation. And later it says that we would be stimulated to wholesome thinking. because as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So Scripture's been telling us this for years, that this is the way it works. And what you believe and what you think and how you're going to roll with this, that actually comes to pass. And when you're saying, okay, I'm now in the frame and for God's mindset for my life, now and only now can you be the things you want to be, because you're thinking the things that God is thinking about you. That's powerful.
That is very powerful.
That's powerful.
Wow. So let's look at the process, right? What happened in that season? Like, what came alive inside of you?
Yeah.
Did you discover different traits inside that you didn't know existed before? Or was it just you awoke in this slumbering giant, right? That you knew was inside you. You knew you had a greater calling to get this launch to date, right? To lead, to open up the church, to lead the congregation. Like, what do you feel like you learned, and what was drawn out of you inside of that season?
I learned this, and I think it's very important to note. You can't do it forever. So right now we're living under this time period of what we call the hustle culture. That gets a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Let me just be transparent. I was exhausted. And what we do is we fly in the face of that and we say, yeah, but so what that you're tired and you're exhausted and all this? Keep depleting, keep draining. Pretend that you're really unlimited, even though you're limited.
Yeah.
Because God's the only unlimited one. We're just made in the image of that as limited people, right?
Straight up.
I learned that you can't pioneer forever at the same rate, at the same energy output, at the same exact speed that you're always going. That there is such a thing called the speed of rest. Now, this was hard to learn for anybody who cares about what they do in life. You don't have to tell that person to work. I love those kind of people, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me we need more out of you. I'm going to have to tell myself, and I'm talking to a group of people that I know the audience, I need to tell you to pull back. I need to tell you to become emotionally thick. I need to tell you to get your, what we call Sabbath, right? It's not a day off. A day off is just, I'm stopping. But a Sabbath is a whole scriptural principle that really has me jazzed. This is to commune and to slow down with God and to take in everything around you, to not think about the worries of life, but to embrace the joy you have right now.
Wow.
That if God in all of his sovereignty and wisdom in 6 days created everything and on the seventh day rested, who am I to think I can keep this up?
Yeah.
America has you convinced that you can.
Yeah.
Until
you burn both ends for so long.
Oh my gosh, you burn both ends. You have some sort of midlife crisis. You lose family. You have all the money in the world. You lose your health. Yeah, and if you prioritize work over health, how many of us know eventually you lose both?
Yep.
So what I realize is that there's a point where you got to take ground. You got to pioneer. You have to conquer the territory in the frontier that you feel like is so passionately in your soul to go and do. However, you have to come out of that, and you have to take intentional times where you rest to just enjoy what you did.
Yeah. And abide, right?
That's
and doing
exactly
abide.